Who's the better spiritual leader? I don't know. You tell me. As we see, we have two pictures of two gentlemen right here. We have the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, the leader of the Nation of Islam, and on the other side we have Pope Francis, um, head of the, I guess, the Roman, the Catholic Church, and he's probably like the 50 something installment of popes so far. Now, we look at these two gentlemen here on our screens, and a lot of people have a lot of differences with both of these gentlemen here. You know, um, a lot of people in the mainstream of media, they ask for, their blacks to denounce Louis Farrakhan. They say, he's for the things he say, mm, and I think that's, basically it as I could think about it. Just for the things he say, a lot of people take it offensive. They don't like what he say. And we look at Pope Francis. He runs the Catholic Church. And we say some of the policies, some people will say, well, when it comes to the church, some of the policies, it's kind of harsh when it comes to, things as you, when it comes to your body and things like that. No, you shouldn't be having these questions about that when it comes to our body. So people have differences when it comes to these two individuals. I could say that, you know, with really no argument. Because it doesn't matter what you say, somebody will always find something that they didn't like about what you said. And that's cool, whatever. But I want to take it a little further. I want to take it a little beyond things people say, you know. And let's look at the structure of these two facilities that these two spiritual men are in charge of. Meaning, let's look at things we could see, things we could touch, not just people words, because people will say what they want to say and people will put policies in order wherever you go. But let's look at things that we, as the outside public, you know, especially as the black individual in America, look at these two institutions ran by these two spiritual men. And that's why I ask you, who is the better spiritual leader? Because if you're the leader, your influence runs throughout, whether you're the coach, the CEO, the teacher, the head chef, the supervisor. Uh, it doesn't matter. So, I say again, who is a better spiritual leader as far as I'm looking at the physical aspects of these two institutions, right? That these two spiritual men run. First of all, I have to look at things that are tangible, that I could see, that I could hear, that I know that's happening, right? I've never heard an incident And yes, we're going to have to take it right here. If I'm wrong, please, 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 somebody correct me. But I've never heard an incident where one of these ministers of Islam, within the Nation of Islam, uh, I've never heard incidents of them touching up kids. Okay, let's get to it. And they run youth centers. They have things where they have their schools where they're bringing up kids. And I say that to say this because now I turn to the other institution, the institution you want us to uphold, the institutions that you want us to stand by and be a part of. When on this end, we must denounce this man because of some words he says, but not taking a look at the institution that he runs and seeing these straightforward individuals that's coming out of there. But yet, on the other hand, we're going to have to bow down and pay homage and genuflect to this other institution that stories upon stories upon stories, years upon years upon years, even before Pope Francis, and this is nothing, it's a slight against Pope Francis, but you walked into a mire. Don't tell me when you open a basement and there's nothing with a basement full of indictments, and then you turn your mouth to fix to tell me that you don't know what's going on. It tells a sad case of what spiritual leadership really means. You know? Are we kidding ourselves here? Are we really kidding ourselves here? Who is the better spiritual leader? Let me pose this question to you. Who do you feel safe leaving your kids in the room with a bunch of guys who's trying to sell them bean pies and get them to wear a bow tie, or a bunch of suspected, you don't know, pedophile priests? Because you have to say it like that, because the majority of them, when you turn around, are always popping up on the news with the finger diddling some little boy's booty hole. Come on. Who is the better spiritual leader? So we must denounce this man, but not look at the goodness and what's coming out of here. But yet we must uphold these characters and yet look aside of the wickedness what's going on over there, right? Who is the better spiritual leader? Just an observation.